Hi everyone, let's talk about responding to problems with empathy. There are typically 4 different ways that you can respond to a person's concern. There's sympathy, reassurance, advice, and also empathy. Let's talk about each of these and why empathy can be one of the best and most effective techniques. First, let's talk about sympathize. When you sympathize, you are feeling for the person, not with the person. So for example, you can say things like, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm sorry that's happening to you. When you are sympathizing, you're basically placing this invisible barrier between you and the other person. So you're signaling that it's happening to you, not to me. So the recipient of the message may feel alone in this journey. Next, let's talk about reassurance. This is normalizing the other person's experience. So for example, you could say things like, oh, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. It's going to get better, I promise. Now, you may say this, but the person will still think, oh, it's not going to be okay. This is the toughest, hardest, most embarrassing thing I'm going through, and it's hard to be optimistic about this situation. So, if you're only providing reassurance, the recipient of the message may feel that you are minimizing their experience because you're signaling that what they're feeling at this time is not valid and unnecessary. Another way to respond to a person's concern is to give them advice, which is your solution to solve their problem. For example, you can say things like, hey, you should try this out, or maybe you should do this, or if I were you, I would do this. Now, advice can help, but most of the time, people already know what they need to do to solve their issue. And if you present the advice as an easy fix, then the recipient may hear your message as criticism and judgment, which is counterproductive to your intention to help. So let's talk about the last way to respond to a person's concern, and that's through empathy. Empathy is listening to the other person's needs and feelings and being curious to learn more without judging them. It also involves asking questions and reflecting on their needs and feelings. So for example, you can ask, hey, how are you feeling? Or, I'm wondering if you're feeling frustrated at the moment. Or, hey, I'm wondering if you're preferring a little bit more clarity from your manager. Or, hey, would you say that you want a little bit more consideration and respect from her? Now, when you're providing empathy and listening and reflecting on the other person's needs and feelings, then the recipient of the message will feel heard, understood, and also connected. Once people feel heard and understood, then they are more willing to collaborate with others, and they're also more willing to listen to you, your request, and also your advice. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Jessie, Jesse, @feedlearning.com. Or if you're interested in our Communicating with Empathy training course, then check out feedlearning.com for more info. Thanks, bye.